Hey, I'm Bill Kleinis, and today we're talking paint correction and accessories. So we're really not going to go too horribly in depth. We're really just going to scratch the surface. Boom, got you there. Pun intended. You know, just a little scratch with the abrasive, you know, the surface of the panel. Makes it shiny after a while. So we're going to start off over here on my left, your right, with the Rotary. And we're going to talk a little bit about corresponding pads, why you would pick one pad over another, and some of the different types of compounds available. So traditional Rotary spins on a single axis or arbor. You know, a lot of times this is really great for removing a large area that's been sanded. So maybe we did an entire hood, or you know, you've got an overall and you're going to knock the entire thing down. You've sanded with 1500 and you've just got a lot to do. While we can take that out with these tools, sometimes this will cut faster. And then once I was done cutting, I would obviously follow up with an orbital of some sort. But let's talk about types of pads. So if I want to cut really heavy on a Rotary, a lot of times I'm going to gravitate directly towards a 100% wool pad, much like this white pad here. And they come in a 1.5 inch, 1.25 inch. You know, a lighter wool pad that you could go with would be a lot like this blue pad here. And that pad is actually a three-way blend. So, you know, you've got some acrylic in there and everything, which allows it not to cut quite as much, and it actually finishes better. So, you know, you've kind of got your before and after pad there, or, you know, like I always like to finish on foam. So I would start my cutting on wool. I might even do like a medium cut, which would be like this, and I'd probably still finish on a foam just to get that extra pop and a little bit more clarity. You know, certain types of compounds that you can pair with your Rotary would be like these two here, which are traditional water-based compounds. So this is a heavy cutting compound. You can cut about P1500 and up. And then this is your finishing polish. So both of these would be water-based and be what we would consider a true correction. So we're not filling any of those sand scratches. We're actually removing and refining. And then you come down here to Rejuvenator. Rejuvenator is kind of like what you would see at a dealership. Or a quick detail shop, or you know, if you want to one-step something without really putting in a whole lot of time, or you don't have the ability to put in a lot of time, it's a great product because what it does is it actually hides a lot of the scratches. It will refine some of the lighter scratches as you're buffing, but it's not going to remove a heavy sand scratch or a heavy scratch from like a rock or something along those lines. But it's going to give you protection also, so that's where you get that one step. So you're going to get about 30-45 days worth of protection out of this product. So let's keep moving down the line. So we talked about the Rotary. Now we kind of want to get into the middle ground. So this tool, this is the Flex 3401. It really bridges the gap between Rotary and free spinning orbital. You know, it still oscillates just like the Rupes will here, or even the Porter cable down there. But where this separates itself from the rest of them is it's gear driven. So it's got a gear on the outside of this housing, and it also has a gear on the backside of your backing plate here. So, you know, when you get into some tight corners with this, or when you're on a weird spot on a bumper with a weird curve to it, or even a door, it actually has the power to carry right through. This tool will not stall. Why do I like this tool? Because I feel like a lot of people coming from using a standard Rotary every single day transition into this tool better because the power characteristics really complement each other. And you still get the finishing capabilities of the free spinning tools. So it really kind of bridges the gap well. So we've talked about the Flex and the forced rotation. Let's talk about free spinning. And this is the Rupes. It's the Bigfoot 21. You can see free spinning, no gear set. Still oscillates just like the other one. But you know, where this tool really shines is finishing, and it finishes very well. So if you're doing a show car, you know, a lot of times people gravitate towards a free spinning orbital polisher just because they do finish a little bit better. There's pros and cons to each tool. Really though, when it gets down to the nitty gritty, a detailer that's been working with orbitals pretty often or for a long time, it comes down to preference between two tools like these. So let's keep moving on. The 3-inch Flex to me is probably one of my most used tools. I use this on a lot of great, you know, large areas. But a lot of times when I'm working in a tight area on a bumper, I'm working the lower side of a door panel, where there might be some, you know, body lines or something along that. I use this 3-inch tool. It's still free spinning. It's got a 12mm throw. And it's got a lot of power. You know, a lot of people see this machine and they see how small the head on it is and they think it's not going to have the power to really push through. In all reality, it really does. It's a really powerful little tool, and paired with our pads that we've got set up in our compounds, you can cut 1500 out with this tool here. So for denibbing as well in a body shop atmosphere, it's really, really useful. So, you know, it's just like if you look at a mechanic's toolbox, they don't have one screwdriver or socket to do the job, they've got a whole bunch of them. Moving on to the last but not least, but kind of the least, is the Porter cable. Not to downplay this tool at all. It has its place, and it's got places where it probably doesn't belong. So where does it belong, and where's it really shine? This is really great at polishing, doing really light work or waxing. You know, it does a great job at anything that doesn't really need severe correction. If you need heavy correction, you can do it, but the amount of time that you spend with this tool versus this tool or this tool is going to be a big difference. But you know, if you're a weekend hobbyist, if you're just putting wax on at a dealership, or you're a high volume detailer, so you're not spending 8 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours on one car, you're spending maybe 45 minutes to an hour, this might be a great tool to apply your wax or your one step like a Rejuvenator or something along those lines. So everything has its place. You just really have to determine what it is you're doing, what kind of time restraints you have, and what the initial investment would want to be. So let's kind of talk about some of the pads that fit the orbitals. You can notice that we've got 3-inch and 6-inch. We've also got 5.5 in case you like running a little bit smaller backing plate. Now, they're all color coordinated except for this purple one. The purple one is the outlier from the system. The gray pad and the purple pad are both heavy compound pads. That purple wool pad works really, really well on like a really hard clear, whereas this gray pad tends to work a lot better on a clear that tends to get soft. So especially, you know, if you were working on something that just came out of a paint booth and the paint's still a little bit soft, you know, the gray pad may be the way to go. Now, the medium pad, which is the orange that goes with the medium compound, is really like a memory foam, and it's really great at doing a single step. So if you're going to compound but you don't have time to do a multi-step compounding, that orange pad will take out a lot of defects and also finish out really, really well. So it's a great kind of one-step and go system, as are the heavies, but the medium is really where we hinge the system, and we do a lot of work with that medium pad. Now, the black pad, it's just a really fine, really soft polishing pad. It's really great for refining any little light micromars, and it also adds an extra bit of depth to the paint. So, you know, they work really well on an orbital. We've designed it around the orbital system and really tried to give you an encompassing system to handle anything that's thrown at you. So, you know, you've kind of got the whole gamut of what we have here. Not saying one's better than another because they all fit in different areas better, or they all fit certain areas and budgets differently. So they'll all do the job, but they'll all do it a little bit differently. So your job is to determine what's best for you. And like always, if you ever have questions, feel free to comment and like and subscribe as well.